Alright, here's a question. What if Earth suddenly hit the brakes and stopped spinning, but the atmosphere kept zooming along? We'll be all toasted, seriously. The ground beneath us is moving at about 1,000 miles per hour. If it stops, but the air doesn't, we're in for a wild ride with winds that could tear apart everything, even your favorite coffee shop. The equator would take the hardest hit, but pretty much everyone on Earth would be caught in a storm so powerful it would make the strongest hurricanes look like a gentle breeze. And yes, those winds would wreck just about every building. So if you were hoping to enjoy a peaceful day, well, too bad. Imagine Boston getting blasted by wind twice as powerful as the worst tornado. Buildings gone, trees uprooted. It's a full-blown apocalypse. But if you're hanging out in Finland, which you probably aren't, you might just survive, thanks to the underground cities and tunnels. Otherwise, you're out of luck. Bunker time. Think you're safe in a bunker? If it's built like a Fort Knox, but if your neighbor's bunker isn't as tough, it's going to crash right into yours. The upside? Humans might not go extinct, but life on the surface would be toast. Underground though, you might just live to tell the tale if you're deep enough. What will happen to the air? As the wind comes down, things would get downright bizarre. The gusty chaos would turn into a blast of heat. Usually, wind energy isn't much to worry about, but this wouldn't be your average breeze. As the wind came to a wild crashing halt, the air would start heating up. Over land, this would mean sweltering temperatures. Where the air was damp, we'd see global thunderstorms like never before. Meanwhile, winds whipping over the oceans would churn up the water, turning the surface into a frothy mess. For a while, you wouldn't be able to tell where the ocean ended and the spray began. It'll all just blend together. Now, oceans are pretty chilly below the surface, hanging around a cool 4 degrees. The wild winds would stir up this cool water, mixing it with the scorching air above. The result? A weather cocktail the Earth has never seen. A swirling mix of wind, spray, fog, and rapid temperature shifts. This upwelling of cold water would bring a boom in life as fresh nutrition surged to the top. But it would also cause mass die-offs of sea creatures like fish, crabs, and turtles who couldn't handle the sudden influx of low oxygen water. Whales and dolphins, needing to breathe in air, would struggle to survive in this chaotic sea spray battlefield. The waves would circle the globe, moving from east to west, and every east-facing coast would feel the wrath. The shores would face the biggest storm surge in history. A blinding cloud of sea spray would crash inland, followed by a chaotic churning wall of water like a supercharged tsunami. In some places, these waves would push miles into the land. Meanwhile, the winds would hurl dust and debris into the atmosphere, while a thick blanket of fog would form over the cold ocean. Normally, this would make global temperature nosedive, and they would, at least, on one side of the planet. If Earth stopped spinning, say goodbye to the daily sunrise and sunset. The sun wouldn't stand still, but instead of rising and setting every day, it would take a full year. Yep. You'd have 6 months of day followed by 6 months of night, even at the equator. On the sunny side, the surface would roast under constant sunlight, while the dark side would freeze. The sunny side would also whip up some colossal storms right beneath the sun. This new Earth would be a bit like a tidally locked exoplanet hanging around a red dwarf star. Though, a better comparison might be Venus in its younger days. Venus, much like our now stationary Earth, keeps one face pointed toward the sun for months at a time. However, its thick atmosphere spreads the heat around, so the day and night size stay pretty similar in temperature. While the length of the day would change, the months wouldn't. The moon would still circle the Earth, but without Earth's spin fitting its tidal energy, the moon would stop drifting away from us, like it's doing now, and start creeping back towards Earth instead. In fact, the moon, our loyal sidekick, would step in to reverse the chaos that Andrew's scenario unleashed. Normally, Earth spins faster than the moon, and our tides slow down Earth's rotation while nudging the moon further away. But if we'd stop spinning, the moon would stop drifting away from us. Instead of slowing us down, the moon's tide would start speeding us up. Quietly and gently, the moon's gravity would give Earth a little nudge, trying to get us back into our groove, and we'll start spinning again.